Hey, what's up my cruisers? Thank you for tuning in to another video. In this one I'll be going over some of the things that I check in my 80 series before a long trip or adventure. So I'm just going to share with you what I do with my 80 series. So the first thing obviously you want to do is make sure all your fluids are topped off, your coolant, your engine oil, make sure it's at the correct level. And then most importantly for me, since this is a 26-year-old vehicle and it's not like a newer vehicle, I also inspect my nuts and bolts. So make sure you check your nuts, especially if you have an 80 series Toyota Land Cruiser. If you do, you probably know what I'm talking about. I have actually made a video about that, so if you want to see that video, you can click up here. I'll also link that in the description. But yeah, please check your nuts. Make sure all your nuts and bolts are all tightened down. So what I do is I usually go under, just make sure everything's at least hand tight. Because I've had bolts loosen up on me after long trips or even after off-roading, because I do a lot of that as well. So I just make sure before I go on a long trip, I tighten everything down. I just go over everything, your knuckles, make sure all the nuts are tight on that. And then I go over my, radiator especially, and the battery terminals. Because I've had that loosen up over me too over time. So even the radiator, clamps for the radiator, I tightened that down. It was actually loose, so I tightened those down. I ended up getting a new coolant reservoir unit. I'll link that in the description if you want to buy one as well. It's an actual Toyota part. So I installed that real quick just so you have a new coolant reservoir, because my old one was real funky. Had a lot of gunk in it, so I just wanted to change it out for this long trip. I'm probably going to go to like 3 states maybe, so I just wanted to make sure everything I could change before I leave is changed. Obviously you want to carry extra, coolant and oil if you're going on a long trip. So that's what I did as well. I have that ready in case I need it. But that's the most important things that I've noticed. Oh yeah, I also topped off my knuckles. So if you have an 80 series and you have leaking knuckles like me, you want to top it off. And if you don't know how to do it yourself, and you don't want to do a rebuild like me, because I'm lazy, I don't want to do a rebuild, you can click up here and I'll link that video in the description as well on how to top off your knuckles from the inspection hole. And that's what I usually do like once a year, just to make sure there's grease in there. Then you want to check your differentials as well. So I actually didn't check them because I topped it off last year already, so probably check it in the summertime. But importantly too is if you have an old vehicle like me, take it for a test drive before you go on a long trip. I've noticed that helps sometimes, because usually, if something's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong before you go on a trip. Especially if you haven't driven in a while like me. I don't normally drive this every day, so I'll probably take it on a test drive like a week before I leave, just to make sure everything's running good. Listen for anything that's, making a sound, like your belts or anything. Make sure they're all tight. Make sure nothing's loose. You don't want anything to be loose, because if you're on a long trip, it might have a chance to loosen. So that's all I got. I just wanted to make a short, quick video of some of the things that I check and you want to inspect before going on a long trip. One more thing that you want to get, or if you don't have, is AAA roadside assistance. So I've been stranded before, and if you haven't seen that video, I actually had to get towed like 154 miles back to Phoenix. So if you want to see that craziness, click up here. I'll link that in the description as well. So I have Premier Towing, and it came in handy because you get 200 miles of free towing every year. So if you don't have like a roadside assistance thing or something that can get you out of bind on the road, I suggest getting one as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button for more content like this. Like, comment down below if you got any questions. And I'll see you on the adventure real soon. Alright, the 80 Cruiser out.